before we do that, we got a guest.
Got a guest.
I don't even. He got so many names. I don't know what to call him.
Exactly. Introduce yourself. Who are you?
I am Tobias Lyon.
All right.
Artist.
Y'all give it up for my son, y'all.
This man. Y'all calling somebody his son.
Anyway, man, first time on the Culture Media podcast, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of lingering a little bit, but now he want to join, so we're going to let him slide.
I always show he was the cameraman.
Look.
So he's a familiar face.
That was when we was the radio show.
Yeah.
But he one of those guys that talk behind the camera and not get in front of it. So.
Yeah, man, I always want to talk.
We can't have
go ahead and plug all your socials too. I'm definitely going to put it in, but go ahead and, put them out there.
Okay, I'm a real Tobias Lyon on Instagram and Tobias Lyon on Facebook.
There it is.
That is not his thing. His name is Boa Lion or some shit like that.
Boa Montana.
I'll figure it out and I'll
He got so much shit going on.
So much.
All right.
But yeah, we're going to talk about the Tory Lanez verdict. So he hasn't been given a sentence yet. That's January 27th, but they're saying that the charges that he has is 22 years and 15 months is what they can be like max. But, I just want to read out what his actual charges were that he was found guilty of. So assault with a semi-automatic firearm. These are all felony charges. Mm-hmm. Carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle. And discharging a firearm with gross negligence. So those are the 3 charges that he got. They're all felony charges, and he was found guilty of those. So just in this article is from People, and I definitely got some words to say about People magazine because they gave good information, but at the same time, they were talking about Meg in a negative way, and that just ain't never gonna be right. So it's and I didn't even know her full name is Megan Pete. I didn't know her last name was Pete, so that's something there. Megan Pete is her full name.
But she did lie too now. Let's make that clear. She did lie.
I mean,
hold on. Before we get into it, finish that. Before we get into it, finish that.
So yeah, let's get the facts of it first before we go into whatever the hell else she was about to say. So the trial took 9 days. In those 9 days, Tory was convicted and found guilty. So I didn't know that he was a Canadian rapper. Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I ain't listened to his music, so I wouldn't have known neither way. And his real name is Daystar Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Daystar.
I didn't know
anyway.
21 Savage was British.
Oh yeah, I knew he was British because I fuck with his music. But so you gotta think about it. So assault with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying a loaded and unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. So again, all of those are up to 22. It's actually 22 years and 8 months in prison. It's like max sentencing. So like I said, January 27th is the sentencing. So he may get up to that, or they may not give him that much at all. And with him being in jail, they may include time served. Normally they include time served because you got to sit and wait for your sentencing anyway. They said that when the verdict was read off, Tory had no visible signs of a reaction of emotion. So it's like he heard it and he was just like, okay. And they took him away in handcuffs immediately. So there was that. They did, Megan's attorney spoke and just highlighted how brave she was to get on the stand and recall everything that happened. So this was literally Megan's words, from one of the things that she said. She said, I'm having a very difficult time sitting up here telling my story and having to sit across from people who told lies about me and having to sit across from Tory. So that's what she said actually throughout the proceedings. She said, I try to be strong and I don't like to look weak because I don't want to give them power to take over me, which is the power they've had for the last 3 years. So, this happened May of 2020. So this literally happened 3 years ago. And she's been, suffering from that since. It says Pete was then asked to recall the events of the alleged shooting. And she stated that Lanez shot at her. And she said she insisted that she knew that it was him that shot at her, even though her friend Kelsey Harris was right beside her. So I know a lot of people were saying, oh, she could have shot the gun, but she was beside her. So how can you shoot at me when you're beside me? Just a common sense thing. So she said that he said to her, dance, bitch, and then turned around and started shooting at her feet. That is her account of exactly what happened. And then she also expressed frustration about how the case played out, explaining that several male musicians took Tory's side and that she also felt that the incident changed the trajectory of her career, which I can agree. So a lot of people either didn't want to perform with her. She may have lost money, etc. Tory declined to testify in his own defense, so that could be good or bad. And during the closing arguments on Wednesday, a prosecutor urged the jury, so of course her side of the team urged them to find him guilty because he shot at her over nothing but a bruised ego. And we can get into that a little bit later. But again, he was found guilty for all 3 of those charges, and his sentencing is January 27th. So we can go from there and what our opinions are on this.
My biggest thing, this is my biggest thing. Mm-hmm. They also stated in the court case that his or no male DNA was found, handprints or anything, were found on the gun that shot her. So if you ain't got no DNA or handprints on a gun that shot her, how can you say it was him?
So I would counter with this. So when she was shot, she, they said she hobbled off. Then I don't remember if an ambulance was called and she went to the hospital or if she was driven herself.
Remember the police, they came and put the guns on her and she was laying on the ground.
Yeah, so my thing is, at that point, from the point where she was shot and the police came, where did the gun go? Did the gun get wiped off? My thing is, that's what I'm saying. Tory rolls with people. She rolls with people. Yeah. If you in my crew and you rolling with me, I'm damn sure you gonna wipe some shit off and make sure I'm good.
I heard semi-automatic handgun, right?
Yeah. So anything can be semi-automatic.
With a semi-automatic handgun, you got shot right in the crown of your foot. And
she only had 3 bullet fractures in her foot.
So because he shot at the ground, allegedly, and said dance bitch, it was the fragments of the ground that hit her. Yeah. So she didn't actually get shot, but the fragments won't pop up if you didn't shoot the gun.
You saying the fragments shot at the floor of the car, right?
No,
he was shooting. They allegedly shooting at the ground.
They were outside of the car, but you got to think if you shoot at ground.
I thought they got shot in the car. She got shot in the car.
Exactly.
If they had shot in the car, it would have went
straight through the car floor. It wouldn't have broken up regardless. So you're telling me she got shot on the ground and then got in the car?
Yes. Said it. She said this. She said she had got in the car with him and they drove off. When the police pulled them over and made them get out of the car, they made all of them get on the ground. She couldn't walk. She knew she had.
So this happened before they got in the car.
Huh?
Before they got in the car.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like.
She got in the car after she was supposedly shot. Cause she said remember when they just posted, they saying that this trial is doing all this and she wish she would have just killed me. She was like, she said she was scared and didn't know what was going on.
I got a little bit.
So she got in the car.
I'll read this.
And the police pulled them over.
First of all, she lied.
Let her do some more facts.
So from Los Angeles Times, the shooting.
Okay.
The prosecutors allege the shooting happened shortly after both artists left a party in July of 2020 at a Hollywood Hills home of Kylie Jenner, a member of the Kardashian clan. The pair were riding in an SUV with a woman named Kelsey Harris, a longtime friend of Pete's, for whom she is now estranged, and Peterson's bodyguard, so Tory's bodyguard. Prosecutor says the 2 artists got into a heated dispute where Megan, derived that she talked about Peterson's rapping skills. At some point, Pete demanded to be let out of the car, at which Peterson alleged repeatedly fired at her, is what authorities were told. So they got to arguing in the car. She said, let me out of this car. She was let out of the car, and then he started shooting at her feet.
Okay,
so
what this says.
She jumped back in.
And then
she got back in.
The gunshots prompted for 911 calls. The Los Angeles officers eventually pulled the SUV over. So yeah, she got back in the car. She got back in the car. And they called the police, pulled over the SUV on Hollywood Boulevard, and that's when they found her foot injury. Initially, Pete told them that she was hurt by stepping on broken glass because at the Jenner's party. So that's what she thought initially. Weeks later, she accused Peterson in an Instagram video of shooting her.
What? That's what she thought initially?
That's what she thought. Yeah.
How do you think that, nah? If you seen that man shoot at you, how do you think Come on, man.
I would
Too
say
much
from a female perspective.
The bullet didn't hit her, so she.
Well, in general, I would say from a
He
female
yelled at
perspective.
her and said, "Dance, bitch."
If you step on
But
some
still,
glass,
you
you
gotta
don't know
think
when you
about
stepped
it.
on some glass.
From a female perspective, like at that point, they kind of were talking. Well, they were dating because
Definitely
openly
doing something
dating.
together.
Yeah, they probably were sexual together. As a female, you know, it's always brought in a black female's face that we don't protect black men enough. That's always something that's thrown in our face. Like, oh, you always trying to put the black man down. Mm-hmm. So I would say from initially when you sworn by police officers and they're asking you why you're bleeding, like,
He fucking shot at me.
But she said something about that too. She rapped about it and everything.
like first thing is you think is, okay, I'm not trying to get this black man in trouble because
Right.
I mean, yes, you were shot at, but my thing is like if you're in the heat of the moment and you see a muzzle flash, but then you don't like there's a lot that could be a lot of emotions, adrenaline going on in that situation to where you're just like, I just want to get out of this situation. Say what you can to get out of what you can so that neither one of y'all are killed, in prison, etc. until you probably really think about the shit like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, he kind of made it bad on himself too after that. Because after that, she wasn't even going to say nothing. But then he started talking junk.
Exactly.
That part I get.
Like,
I understand
And
that.
I remember there was some tweets where she was like, well, if you really want to talk about it, then it was like, ah, shit, like,
yeah.
she about to add this bitch out.
And then, okay, so again, compared to all that, she lied from the get-go. It was like saying that, oh, even if you were trying to protect him,
Yeah.
you just said you don't even know if you were shot or you stepped on glass. I don't know if that's just something you told them or what.
Yeah, because she said
But-
she thought
but
she
I mean, I
was
can understand she was
I'm
like
saying like,
panicking at the moment.
when I say I don't know if that's something you told them, meaning I don't know if you meant to tell them that or that's just something you was like, damn, I really don't know if I've been shot or if I stepped on glass.
And the way they got to the bullet fragments is they said when they took her to the hospital, they were taking bullet fragments out of her foot. And that's when they asked her, you know, what happened. And she was still like, I think I stepped on glass. Like she dead ass thought she stepped on glass. But when you at the hospital and they pulling bullets out your foot, they like, baby, this ain't glass.
I think she knew from the get-go. She rapped about it on a song called Shots Fired. And she literally said, I could have put you in jail, but I didn't want to.
Damn.
Like,
First of all, I remember
she tried
another
to help
interview where somebody clearly asked her, did you and Tory Lanez have a sexual relationship? And she said no.
Because it may not have been that.
And then the trial came up and they asked her the same question and she said yes.
Well, because you're under
But she
oath,
got to
motherfucker.
then.
I gotta tell the truth or I go to jail.
it really ain't our
if I'm
business,
on a
though,
talk
like-
show and you ask
My
me that
point
shit,
was
I ain't
she
gotta answer
initially
you.
lied about that.
but it's
Fuck
not
them
our
folks.
business.
Exactly.
It's not our business.
You're right. It's not their
It's
business.
a fuck them folks.
I would lie too. It's not your business.
Hell yeah, if you ask me if I had a nope. Cause you're just a social
not.
media person
But
who's
the
trying
thing is,
to get some
everybody
clout.
Live your life.
Like,
Like,
ain't
you
no
just trying to
way.
live your life. That's it.
I know Tory Lanez ain't finna be dating her and be like, yeah, we just cool. We're not having sex.
All right.
Well, he didn't testify at all. So it honestly, we don't know his side. He decided not to testify at all. He didn't want to say anything. He just let his lawyers handle it. But I can see it like if it's just a random talk show with somebody, you just trying to be in my business.
Yeah.
You trying to know if I was talking to that person. No, I'm gonna tell you no because it's not your business. But under oath, where I could go to jail for perjury,
Nah.
what you want to know?
You gotta say it.
I gotta tell you the truth. Like it is what it is. Like it's all social media. It's all a fad. People just want to watch your life anyway. But if it's life, like if I'm about to go to jail for telling the truth or not, like I'm going to tell the truth. Like that's a given. Like
And it's
and all
not
those
even something to go to jail for. Like,
exactly like to say that I slept with him. Yes.
I mean, both
Yes,
of them
I
are
did.
dope artists. I'm just upset that that happened
all
between
right,
them.
so-
After, I lost a lot of respect for Tory. I ain't gonna lie. After that,
I don't know.
just his actions. Though.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, I mean, Megan Thee Stallion is like 6'10" with some heels on, so Tory Lanez like 5'4".
When you in bed, it all line
Oh,
up.
get away
Yeah.
from me!
Like,
No, it ain't no get away from me. If she was getting out the car, you shouldn't have had a business shooting at her.
and that's why they said.
But then, at the same time, on her end, if you knew he shot you or shot at you,
yeah.
you should have started that shit from the get-go. Like I get what you were saying
I
about
feel like
trying
she
to
was
protect.
just really trying to protect him.
That's
Just
it.
be like,
I feel like that
because
too.
it's like if he a hot-headed man,
But
which
you
we've
shot at
heard.
me.
We've heard he's hot-headed.
She didn't get hit directly though.
Yeah,
so it
that's
was
the thing.
Shot at me.
Yeah, it was.
So you telling me right now you shoot at me? We supposed to be cool tomorrow? Get out my face, bro.
What if I was playing?
Still, that's the thing. You don't play with guns.
You're right.
You don't.
That was a joke.
You
Yeah,
literally like you might have been shooting at the ground, but that literally could have ricocheted.
I'm just trying to figure out where she said she could have stepped on glass. Like
she was at a party.
Like
Because they came from a party, and it didn't seem like they got far from the party when all of this happened.
you would think if bullet fragments was in
Actually,
your foot, you wouldn't
that's a
feel
good
that
ass
shit
question.
right there and there.
Yeah, like they weren't far.
She definitely did.
But my thing is, you ain't never walked in heels before. As a woman who has walked in heels, like your feet hurt so bad, you honestly don't know what the pain. Like the pain could be coming from the shoes that you wearing, but when you take them shoes off, because most girls do.
Yeah.
You walking on the ground. Like, again, you ain't wore heels before, like, to a party, like, where you gotta wear them bitches off for hours at a time.
So basically what you're saying
like, the
is
pain in her feet, she could have thought.
She could have already had pain in her feet.
And she and getting out the car, and you're like, damn, I done stepped on some fucking glass.
It feel like glass in your feet.
Exactly, because it hurt. Like,
But all right, okay. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so look now.
They weren't that big,
If you stepped on glass, how did the shards get in the top of your feet?
I don't remember where it was. They didn't say.
I seen her foot. So yeah,
you seen it?
Yeah,
you seen it?
It was on the top.
It was three spots
like
on the
right
top of
here.
her feet that they were saying that the shards came out of. So how did they get in the top of your foot?
Like I said,
Was
I
it
feel like
dark?
she was covering from, and
Was
then
it
he
dark?
started.
Did she see?
He started
I believe
acting out.
she
See if I can pull that
panicked
bit up.
and just didn't know a story to really come up with, so she said glass.
I mean, we all
Which I kinda
know that she
understand.
definitely, like, tried to cover for him. Like, that's a given. Like, she was just like, something
I mean, I would have panicked too. You see how they put the guns on her? And
Exactly.
She was
They
shot.
was drawing down on her. Like, okay. So, I'm about to look it up, too. Like, hold on.
I don't know, man. It's too much going on. I don't know. See,
Why
that
am I
go.
looking at the back of her heel?
See, there goes some back of her heels.
Yeah,
or some
this is
shit.
the back of the
But
heel. I'm
then,
thinking, like,
come on, it's too many inconsistencies about there. Like,
yeah.
The story don't sound right. It ain't.
I mean, the math definitely ain't mathing.
For
It
sure.
wasn't mathing from the beginning. But,
Nah.
like, to move on from the initial incident itself, like...
and then you got back in the car with the man.
No
I
way.
would have been like, bro, I'm not
but
getting in
my
no car
thing
with you.
is-
Not a chance.
But my thing is, like, she's a celebrity on the side of the road. You just gonna stay?
Where's your folks?
She wasn't with her folks. That's the thing. They went
Kelsey
to the
was
party
supposed to be her
together.
folks.
Exactly. And Kelsey's still in the fucking car. You watching this shit, bitch? Like, what are you doing?
And she switched up on him.
Immediately switched up.
I know. That's the point. That's what I'm getting at. It's too many inconsistencies about this whole case. And then the fact that they find him guilty. I'm gonna state this. This is from a lawyer that was here last night. This is her words. She said, it really don't even matter what proof you got or what proof you do not have. She said it all falls on the jury, regardless.
I mean, yeah, because it's a jury of your peers. They
So
convict you. Now, you can appeal after the sentences to try to get a retrial.
Yeah.
But it's up to the judge who tried you the first time to give you the option to get an appeal.
And on that note, it was more women in the jury for the.
There you go. So sympathy. So I mean, he definitely can get a retrial. It ain't.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
it
I
has to
think
be
he's gonna
after
try to
sentencing.
it.
Yeah.
I
Definitely
feel like
try
he
to.
should because it's too many inconsistencies. But on the other hand, I feel like if that actually happened to where you have the audacity to shoot at somebody just because they said something to you,
You are
then
obviously
okay.
a unstable human being.
you-
like something's not right.
You
Yeah,
shouldn't
something
be out
is- yeah,
here
you
just
should be
in the
locked up.
world.
For
Like
real.
you unstable as hell. Like
you should be locked up.
And I feel like, again, the way he handled all of it was just wrong. Like, okay, even if you did do it or whatever, like, don't poke her. Like, don't
Literally.
provoke this woman to, like, really
I
have
would
to
have
go
moved
out
back
here.
to Canada.
Right, and I said
And
nothing
I would have
about it.
said nothing else to her.
Like, you
But
really
all right.
provoked her over some music shit, and it's just like, just as a black man, like, if you did something to harm this black woman, like, I wouldn't even say straight up to apologize or anything, but just like, don't be in everybody's face about the shit. Like, that's
Right.
just wrong. That ain't even no a black man protecting a black woman situation ever. Even though we already know he didn't, but it's wrong. Yeah. And like I feel like it's a little man complex. Like you really out here like being a little man, and it's like.
I mean, he is a little dude.
But still, I mean, it is such thing as a little man complex, but it's like you really just personified that shit like all day long.
You probably got the little man complex.
But he didn't stop there though. He was punching people in the face and everything.
They call it the Napoleon complex.
Like this man.
I don't know.
But I mean, the charges do line up with. But my whole thing is, you a whole celebrity out here and you got an unregistered gun. What is you doing? Like most black rappers have their security guards have a license to carry and everything. Whereas anything happens, their bodyguards do the work.
You know what it is? He ain't supposed to have a gun if you from Canada.
That's true. Because you're not an American citizen.
No.
You can't.
Well, we don't know if he was an American citizen.
He's not.
He's Canadian. He's not an American. Like he's from Canada.
Naturalized into the United States. That's what
he ain't been here long enough for that.
I doubt he done did all that.
He ain't been here long enough for that. Like you're not supposed to have a firearm at all or discharge it.
Right.
Unlawfully. Come on.
I don't know, but
still,
like I said, it's really too many inconsistencies.
I don't know what's going on with it.
We just have to see how that shit play out.
On the 27th,
but then, since we talking about court cases, YSL. What y'all think?
Man, I seen what they talking about. They tried to get Lil Wayne. They trying to get all these folks to like testify against Thug, and they said they got 323 witnesses on the docket.
But
323, and they all supposed to stay 10 toes down.
I would like to acknowledge the fact that this man was out here wearing dresses and skirts and all this shit.
What the hell they got to do with that?
And then this man turned out to be the biggest thug of all of them, like all the people I've ever seen.
That was fashion.
Exactly.
That was fashion, man.
You are showing your age right now and how you don't think men should wear dress, whatever. Like fashion is. If you about to pay me $1 million to wear this dress.
I wouldn't say I'm not gonna wear a dress.
If Vogue is about to pay me $1 million to wear this dress,
if I could pull it off like Young Thug would,
you start talking these big numbers.
I might do it, like.
Because at the end of it, okay. So look, all right,
and it was
you
fire.
telling me right now. Somebody come up to you and say, "Hey man, I'll give you $1 million right now to be on the album cover that nobody probably ain't gonna remember 2-3 years from now."
I really did.
Just to wear the dress? Does that lower you? Does that lower you as a man?
No.
I just don't like the idea of
you old school. That's all it is.
Feminizing men. I just don't like it.
I don't feel like it was a feminine dress though. Like I don't
know. That blue.
It wasn't short though.
That blue.
If it would have been shorter, it would have been a little weird. Okay.
Anyway, that's not the point.
But it was a nice dress.
I cannot blame these motherfuckers. And think about how many people was in YSL.
A lot.
It was an organization.
You can't put 5 niggas. Charleston White said you can't put 5 niggas in the same room and expect all of them to be 10 toes down.
Fact.
Somebody's gonna fold. Now imagine having 25, 30, 40, 50 people on a label. You expecting all of them to hold it down and just go to trial and nobody gonna say nothing? Man, come on. That's just impossible. Not that many niggas.
But they setting themselves up though. Like anyway, like they gonna be on probation for 20 years, bro. I mean, you think you're not gonna break a single law in 20 years?
So look, I'm put it like this. This the same thing that happened to GS9, like I said on the last one. So look, when you talking about a RICO case, that means they got you on gang activity.
Yep.
And they putting all y'all in this thing. We knew from the get-go they wanted Thug because he was the ringleader. They wanted him off the streets.
Yeah.
From the get-go, let's just ask this question. Now that everything has been going on, do you really think that Gunna snitched? He was the first one. He was the first to take the plea and the first to admit YSL is a gang. So do you think he snitched?
Yes.
No.
No?
You didn't. Okay.
Yes.
No. The only reason I say no is because he only iterated stuff that basically people like us, black people, we already knew.
But you don't say
that.
But
it's not about us.
Exactly.
It's not about us at all.
I know.
This
That's what I'm saying. They don't understand that, but he only said common knowledge stuff.
No,
But it's
And
not
we only
common
saw a
knowledge.
short clip of everything. So we
My
didn't see
thing
the whole
is,
trial.
You don't
It
show,
don't matter.
You don't show your hand though. If it's only
It's like
black
saying,
people know,
and why
you
is
shouldn't
so
be
gay?
talking about
They
it.
already know. They just want you to really.
So don't
I
say
would
it.
have
So
said
I'm
it's
gonna
an
ask you a question.
organization.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
That's perjury, though.
So when
It's an organization.
so when he said that, you don't think he knew that it was gonna be repercussions from that for other people?
For everybody
you
else
know,
who in jail.
Right, literally everybody else that's
From
in
what I
jail.
saw, it was a clip of what they was
But
saying in
still-
court. He probably didn't know anybody was recording or anything. Like
You
that.
were in a
You
courtroom.
were in a courtroom
No, I mean-
on a RICO case.
I'm talking about and putting it out on a clip
It's all
like
on
that.
YouTube.
It doesn't matter if you. It does not matter if you thought you was recorded or not. That's just like me. If you, I know
can
you.
find
I
the court
know.
documents and find that. Yeah,
I know
motherfucker,
for
you
a
said
fact
it.
that you work at Frito-Lay. But if you are doing stuff illegal at Frito-Lay, it might be common knowledge to me. But everybody else don't. Everybody else know you as YSL the label, not YSL the
gang
criminal
member.
organization.
It don't matter if you gunner, thug, or just some random security guy that work for them. If they ask you to say something, like, okay, either tell us this or we giving you ass 50 years.
Nah,
We putting
nah,
you in there
hold
for
on,
hard
hold
criminal
on, hold on,
offenses,
because
gang members,
you
and
see,
shit.
obviously you don't know what's going on because Gunna didn't have no charges.
I
against
know.
him.
What I'm
So-
saying is,
so if
Literally
you-
had one charge.
So why
If
is
you-
why
I
is-
wasn't
So
talking
why'd
about
you
gunner,
tell
period.
me?
I'm just
That's
talking
it.
about period.
I said Gunna. We're specifically.
Oh, we talking about specifically
We
Gunna?
That's it. We ain't
Man, I
talking
can't even fucking talk right now.
so mad.
I'm saying
Crazy.
right now. I said Gunna was the first one to say YSL is a gang, and he the first one to take the plea. Again, it don't matter if it was common knowledge or not. You said yes. We are a gang.
Exactly. No.
Even though he said that, the following
Oh, yeah,
question,
he
he
probably-
definitely snitched. He said, "Do
Yeah,
you
he snitched
know
too.
YSL have committed crimes?"
Yes.
Yes, he said yes. Come
See,
on.
but it went.
It still was snitching before.
Yes, either way, everybody who told after Gunna, yes, they snitched too. But I'm saying Gunna led the way.
He
And
led
All
then-
right, all right. In that case, yeah, it is snitching.
And then on top of that, you literally said
Maybe I could be like 6'9", still be putting out music.
Gunna had one charge. One charge. He could have went to trial and either beat it, got probation, because you ain't never been in jail in your life. So that you got a first offenders. You could have beat it, got your first offenders, or anything like that. You could have still walked. You could have walked.
Yeah.
But you
time
said,
served.
you got on this bitch and said, yes, Your Honor, we are a gang.
And they out here doing crazy shit.
Exactly.
Then you want to get on there and talk. Then you want to do other podcasts and shit. Talking about some, man, well, everybody saying I did this, and this. Bitch, you snitch. The fuck you?
We synced it.
Synced it.
And then,
Yep.
I'm going to say this. You are on a song. Gunna is on a song, and you can look it up right now. He said in the song, I will never snitch on my brothers, and I put that on my government name. And you fucking did it. that mean you are a liar and a snitch.
And a snitch. You, the worst of the worst.
You cannot be you cannot be trusted.
But I will say
swear.
this. You can be a first-time offender and all that. And they was talking about, well, your lawyer can be like, man, the most they can use some probation or maybe like a year in jail or whatever. How many times do motherfuckers go to trial thinking that shit and then get in trial and
Well,
get that
them
sentence,
motherfuckers didn't
it's
have the
not
money
what they
like
thought
that
it
man
was.
got.
And they convicted people of their crimes they committed with the gang. They not,
Exactly.
They're not just
But when
convicting
you
them
are this
with
color,
everybody crimes.
And
It's
you
no
don't
issue.
tell them something they want to know, they try to make an example
That's
out of it.
why you pay the amount of money that you need to pay. to
Right,
get
he make
motherfuckers.
money.
Exactly, he got
And you
money.
ain't never been locked up before.
Exactly.
Ever. You've never been in jail before.
I know motherfuckers who got arrested their first
on,
time
man.
and
Them-
spending 25 years
Them
in
regular
jail.
ass
See,
motherfuckers.
but look.
Yeah, they ain't got no money.
They ain't got no money.
First time you could be
My
done
point is,
dead.
you don't know how they gonna flex that shit on you in court.
But you, okay.
Well, he would never know.
But he got lawyers.
Exactly. He'll never know now.
That's what you pay the lawyer for.
Never.
Don't your lawyers supposed to study this?
Yep.
They supposed to know what's going on.
But like I was saying, as far as the other members of YSL,
Everybody else who snitched after him, they just following the lead.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're right.
And
They all did.
None of them know what kind of time they gonna be eating if they don't say something. I mean, if they say
It don't matter.
50 years in jail.
You're a part of this organization.
Tekashi 6ix9ine
But you
said
know
it
you
best.
committed crime.
He said, after a year, everybody's gonna forget that you in jail. They're gonna stop writing you. They're gonna stop saying free my niggas.